Okay, I think let me start by answering the question around what happens at the hospital. I think when we started, we had a pilot for the hospitals, and we're focusing on, we've discovered that most of the complaints come from prolonged waiting time to see the doctor. So what we did was to introduce the triage method. That was one of the pilots we did it with FMC Kefi. We introduced the triage method so that those that come to the hospital, you begin to check those whose cases are more critical than the other, so that the doctors can see them first before the others come in. That's one thing we did in FMC Kefi, and it actually reduced waiting time. Another thing was when we evaluated some of the hospitals, we discovered that one other important thing about trying to find solution is to identify the problem. So we identified that one of the things that cause delay in making a patient see a doctor is the issue of medical records. For example, I want to go to see a doctor and they tell me that I should wait till my file comes in. And you wait and wait and wait, and they will come back and ask you, which of the clinic did you visit last? And you'll be wondering, you have a record, you should be able to trace that. But at the end of the day, they will come back and say they didn't see your file. So what we try to do is to encourage the automation of medical records. And we're able to succeed with that. We recommended to National Hospital, when we evaluated them about 10 years back, we recommended that they should automate their medical record. And today, if you go there, you don't see anybody carrying file up and down. And this is one thing that has worked to reduce timeline in terms of wasting the time of a patient, so that you don't come to the hospital and you waste the whole day. Another area we've discovered that waste time is trying to get what we call code from the HMOs. We have entered into a partnership with NHIA to see how we can reduce some of these delays in waiting time, in trying to get a code. Because when you go to see a doctor, the hospital now have automated records, so there's no wasting time in recording your visit. Now there's another problem coming up, and that problem is for a patient to be able to get a referral code or a code from the HMOs, health management organizations, to see a doctor. We discovered that it wastes a lot of time. So we are working with NHIA to ensure that that time is reduced to the barest minimum. So what we do, we identify the problem, and we try to find out what, like you do a root cause analysis, what is causing this problem. Once you've identified what is causing the problem, then you begin to work out how to sort out that problem. And that's how we work in the Servicom office.